guys, it's Mel and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing. I don't know if you can see my partner.
I am Maverick.
So that's my partner, and he just went out and got the Meta Quest 3S. My birthday is on the 17th of August and he actually got me the Meta Quest 3 so that we can both basically play virtual reality games. We do have the PSVR, but we barely use it just because there's not enough games available on the software and not enough software available for the hardware. So
I should also explain that the PlayStation VR is not specifically compatible with PC VR games. Don't get me wrong, I was considering getting the PlayStation VR 2, but when it came down to it, people's opinions as to the compatibility of the fact that yes, they brought out an interface that allows you to do PC gaming with VR, but it didn't fill me with confidence reading people's reviews and such about it. So when it came down to whether or not to get the 3S or the 3 for myself, I'm primarily going to do most of my VR gaming through my gaming laptop. I don't need the storage space, and in terms of the spec difference, about 30% visual difference. If I'm really that fussed about having a really visually nice gaming experience, I'll just bump Mel's headset. Otherwise, the 3S was pretty good choice for me in terms of being able to enjoy my games, enjoy playing with Mel, but also not having to break the budget or the bank twice to get a £470 headset when realistically I can get away with the less high spec end one and at times use Mel's if I want something higher.
yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. So this is the 128 gigabyte model. So this is what the Meta Quest 3S looks like. It's pretty much the same as the 3. I've always wanted one of these. It's just monetarily could never afford it. So it's going to be pretty cool finally getting to play this. However, I don't get to play mine until
Tonight.
And I'll be doing an unboxing of the Meta Quest 3 as well. So because there is a little bit of a difference, not major, but yeah. The other thing that comes available with this is the Meta Quest subscription service, which comes with a ton of VR games that are not going to be available on Steam or other websites where you can find VR games unless you want to emulate or whatever, but I don't know how that works. So inside the box, we've got the Meta Quest 3 headset in white, we've got a standard facial interface which is pre-installed, we've got a glasses spacer, which is what I'm going to need, and Mark, because we're both blind. 2 Meta Quest Touch Plus controllers, 2 AA batteries, but you can switch them out for rechargeable batteries, 2 wrist straps pre-installed, USB-C power adapter and a USB-C charging cable, and those are 1 meters. So what I'm going to do is, with my trusty scissors...
Cool.
What? Or I could just do that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Is there one on the other side, or is it just...
There is. Mark came in like 15 minutes ago and was like, do you want to do the unboxing? He just walked in, I was like, yeah. So I've just woke up. Okay, so here is, oh, very nice. So you've got the headset itself, which looks very, very nice. It's got 3 cameras, and those are the glasses spacer as well, so it gives you little instructions, which is actually a really nice thing for Meta to actually include with the headset, because usually with other VR headsets they don't have a glasses spacer and you've actually got to, you know, fork out a shit ton of cash for one, whereas it should be included because, you know, people with glasses do play VR games. So that's the headset. Also comes with an adjustable head strap. However, we did watch a reviewer unbox accessories for this. He did say that with the Meta Quest 3 and 3S, that the head strap wasn't comfortable for him. However, everybody's head size is different, so this might actually work for us. If it doesn't, we can pay, you know, a small amount for another head strap. It's got a USB-C port at the sides. It's got basically tells you some instructions about the glass, the eyeglass, so no liquid cleaners and no sunlight. Also comes with, I think, a camera here, so the camera's all around. I think that's the augmented reality one. Excuse me. You've got the power button here, you've got volume here, and then you've got this button here, which I'm assuming is to, you know, sort that out. So that's the headset. Then you've got the controllers, which are pretty awesome. I actually like these over some other controllers. They feel really nice in the hands. Good grip, although they do come with the straps so that you're not having a Nintendo Wii moment where you're literally volleying through the TV. So it's got a meta button here and it's got a start button, and I was told to press both and hold them in to basically, you know, start things up. It's got these little tabs that you can pull to activate it, and obviously it does come with the AA batteries. So it's got an A, B button and an X, Y here, and then it's got your two thingies and your triggers right there. Analog sticks. Then you've got the glasses spacer. So that's the glasses spacer that you just slot into the headset. You've got a USB-C cable, and you've got your plug, 3-pronged plug because we're in the UK. And I think that is everything. Yeah, so that is basically it for the Meta Quest 3S. So without the spacer, this is what it's going to look like. You can see a little bit of light, but obviously once you adjust the strap, it will be barely noticeable. And depending on what version you get, because we got the Meta Quest 3 from the Meta website, which came with 3 months of Meta Plus. So it's sort of like PS Plus, and comes with a wide array of VR games. Mark has also been, Maverick has also been purchasing stuff off Steam VR wise, like Hitman, and we saw a video last night of a drunken bar fight video game.
So Hitman I already had because it looks like fun and I'm looking forward to giving that a shot. But I did buy a couple more simulator sort of S games to kind of expand on the library of virtual reality games, so we'll see how they work in terms of interaction and fun, and yeah, I'm looking forward to giving them a bash. But in terms of proper VR gaming, Skyrim and Fallout are the ones that I'm looking most forward to in terms of being able to fully immerse myself in those environments. I've gotten some visual mods installed on them as well to give them that crispier look, and ideally, hopefully there'll be bug fixes on them as well, so it'll perform better. At some point, we might try things like Resident Evil in VR. It's not necessarily my cup of tea, because last time I tried playing a Resident Evil game in VR was Resident Evil 7, and I couldn't even go inside the house at the beginning of the game and had to turn it off. So,
and I'm the horror buff in the family. Yeah, I'm the one that plays a lot of horror games, so playing games like Alien Isolation in VR, the new Alien Rogue Incursion, which I'm looking forward to. I think there's a mod out for Doom in VR as well. Doom 3 has got a VR mod. So yeah, I'm looking really forward to what this headset has to provide, plus Beat Saber and Star Wars Galaxies, and also Star Wars Vader, which comes with a couple of episodes as well. Also, this is the 128GB model. The model that Mark got me for the 3 actually is 512. So it does come in two storage sizes. And the only thing that we do need to get is a storage case, because we're going to have two of these headsets. We don't want them broken and just lying around, so we are going to get a couple of storage cases for it. But yeah, I think these are definitely, even console controllers like the Xbox and PlayStation, Nintendo, with their Joy-Cons and stuff, I actually feel like these are better than all of those. They actually feel more expensive. With an Xbox and a PlayStation controller and stuff, it doesn't feel,
I would say to me, they look more comfortable. Having really, in terms of virtual reality platforms, only use the PlayStation VR. Plus, obviously, more augmented reality or the Wii controllers, etc., which are more like sticks with buttons or lights, whatever. These look far more comfortable. They look lighter. They look more ergonomic in your hands. So I'm sold on the controllers look, and I like how the simplicity of them. I like that they're not over encumbered. In terms of how accurate they are, I can't say definitively yet. I need to test it out. I have read for certain games you might have to make slight adjustments to get them to properly aim, but honestly, yeah, they feel good, they look good, and so I'm looking forward to giving them a bash and get back into the world of VR gaming.
Yeah. Plus, Mark has a degree in video games development, so he says that he's going to try and see if he can make a video game in VR. It does have experience in that sort of stuff.
I wouldn't necessarily say a video game. Like, that's maybe a bit too highbrow, but I'd certainly like to do some
VR application.
A tech demo sort of game where I can create some kind of game mechanics utilizing the VR capacities. So, operating in a 3D environment, using the motion controllers to interact with said environment. It would involve using probably the physics engines for whatever I plan to develop in. I would like to try and develop in the Unreal Engine because that looks very more user-friendly than it used to be, and it just depends on if there's licensing costs or whatnot, or if there's subscriptions you have to pay or for licensings. But I'm looking forward to going back into that and seeing what I can come up with utilising the VR headset and the motion controllers.
Plus, it's got augmented reality, so you can the headset will scan the entire room and put you inside that world. So if you're playing things like Beat Saber and Star Wars or whatever, it would just be an incredible experience. Don't get me wrong, I like the PSVR, but with the PlayStation Move controllers, it can get quite pernickety and it can strain your hands quite a bit. And because it doesn't have like full motion controls with most games, it takes the fun out of it. Whereas with the Meta, it's got a larger array of video games, which I'm looking forward to. Plus, it might actually get me to play Skyrim properly. I can't play it normally. I just get really bored, but I feel like if I'm actually in the game, I may actually have a better experience. There was something else that I wanted to mention about this, and I can't remember what it is. But yeah, so that's the Meta Quest 3S. If you guys have got any questions, let us know. I'm not going to record any gameplay for this because this is Mark's headset. I will do it with mine with the 3. The only difference being like you said, the 30% fidelity or whatever it is.
There is a slight size difference as well. So the Meta Quest 3 is slightly bigger, but it's not once again negligible compared to other different headsets and different spec differences. Like, the biggest thing is the storage space is what you would see as the biggest difference. Like, you're looking at like off the top of my head, quick math, 4 times the size of storage. So
Also, now the Xbox is on basically everything now. You can use your Meta Quest with Xbox. So you'll get an Xbox Game Pass Plus subscription on PC. You can play your entire library through the lens of Meta Quest. You can also, because Xbox has implemented a ton of providers, you can now basically play thousands upon thousands of games. Battle.net. If you're a Diablo fan, you can play Diablo Immortal on this, which would be pretty cool. Even though it's not VR, but it does project sort of like a movie-like experience if you want to watch movies or just play video games normally, which is pretty awesome. Xbox has also implemented Steam, GOG, Epic Games, Battle.net, and a couple of others, but Steam and Epic and stuff like that is now available, so you've literally got an endless supply of video games. And Steam already has a bunch of VR games available. And now the Xbox has released their own version of the Meta Quest, the Xbox Edition. There's no limits to what it can do. They'll probably start releasing VR games when that releases. So yeah. And then the movie experience, if you want a movie-like experience, then this is probably your best bet. It'll project, I think it was like a 26-foot screen, and then you can obviously bend it around you and stuff. One of the other things that I've seen from this, it was either this or the Apple Quest, where you can actually see yourself move around the house with the device. Well,
so
you've
this
got
is
it
what
on.
this is how the augmented reality works. Basically, the cameras will allow you to see your environment, and you can have your screen for your movie playing in front of you. So when you're moving about the house, the screen will stay the same distance away from you, and you can move about, navigate, do whatever you want, because the cameras will allow you to see around your house, and still be able to enjoy whatever it is you're doing, watching movies, playing games. It's a very cool device. It might look weird to other people just seeing you walk about with this like visor on your face, and they're like, okay, but it's still very cool to have that experience and have that ability as well.
And very futuristic.
Yeah.
It's just pretty awesome. It's very Star Trek. But yeah, I think the capabilities of this are going to be endless. I don't know if they're going to bring out a new Meta Quest in the future. They probably will, because they're constantly innovating and upgrading this stuff. But I feel like this is the first VR headset I've seen that looks comfortable. Just because with the PSVR, the main part of it is very chunky and it can drag you down, and actually it can hurt your neck in the long run depending on how long your sessions are. And also it's good for social interactivity. It's so if you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those sorts of things, YouTube just for chilling out and watching videos, and you can watch movies in 3D. It does have 3D capabilities, which is awesome. So if you want to watch stuff like Resident Evil in 3D and things like that, and
I would say one of the cooler aspects as well, going back to the augmented reality, if you've got it connected to your computer, you can set up a 3-screen computer setup using augmented reality where you've got 3 screens operating with your computer. So that's very cool if you've got limited space to have these monitors. Honestly, it's one of those things where instead of spending money on getting big TVs, big monitors, whatever, headset is probably your best bet, because not only are you getting a great gaming experience, you're getting all the display sizes and whatever you want, and you can customize it how you like. So I can't see a fault in this purchase. It seems like a fairly big spend, but the applications and uses of it are just so numerous that
it pays off.
It pays off.
Yeah.
And like I said, better than paying for a big ass TV when I can use the Meta Quest. If I want to have multiple displays for doing work, or want to fully immerse myself in games. So yeah, I'm happy that I've spent bought 2 Meta Quests now.
Yeah. It's going to be with the Meta Quest 3, which comes today. I won't be unboxing it until tonight, because that's going to be my one. And it'll actually be better for me in the long run when I'm streaming games, like VR games and that for my YouTube channel, simply because with PSVR, it doesn't have the capabilities of streaming properly. Especially if you've got the Elgato and you're having to connect all these different wires, and you need all these extra adapters and stuff. Whereas with this, you're literally just connecting it to your PC, and it's going to pay off in dividends pretty much. It's also great for work applications, so stuff like maybe some Zoom meetings. It can help you if you are. I know that there will be a lot of educational platforms that use VR. It might be good for kids, although I need to check to see what age you have to be to use AI when you're a kid. I think you said that it was like 7 or 8.
I believe last time I checked it was about 7 or 8. So admittedly, it's like going on a roller coaster ride. It's not to do with age, it's to do with height. Same with when you stop using seatbelts in a car. It's just to do with how, when they reach a certain point where they're physically able to use the headsets and that without it causing potentially eye strain or damage. I would say I'm excited about the applications of being able to find educational stuff for my son to play. I'm looking forward to being able to expand his horizons in terms of like looking in retrospectively for us growing up in the 90s when the advancement of gaming then was going into 3D. This is a far cry difference. So I can only imagine what he's going to be going into, what his future is going to look like in terms of gaming and application of 3D modeling and whatnot going forward.
Yeah, plus he loves Minecraft, so and there's obviously an educational version of Minecraft which is going to help him utilize a lot of things in the long run, and he is a smart kid, so he just loves getting involved in everything. So yeah, plus something like VR at this stage, because he's only 5, it would disorient him a lot, so obviously we'd have to wait until he's older in order to let him use this, because like Mark says, it could maybe damage his eyes, or maybe have some adverse effects in the long run. So yeah, best to wait until he's older before he gets to play this, and because it's an expensive piece of kit, but it's lightweight, so it's not going to hurt you in the long run, which I like, because these bands feel really comfortable when I was wearing it. Little slither of light, but other than that, it looks like a great piece of kit, and I can't wait to open mine, which I'm going to do tonight, and I'll basically give you guys a first look at some VR gameplay as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe, comment, like and share. If there's any questions that you have about the Meta Quest, we'll try and answer them to the best of our ability. And thank you to my lovely hubby for jumping into the video, and we will see you guys in the next one. I've got a ton of videos that I've sitting on the editing bench, so I'll get around to them in the next couple of weeks, because I've got more reactions and that to edit. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Take care.
Bye.